Hello and welcome to another edition of H. Paul Models. Ever since the Gloster Gladiator I've been wanting to do another biplane with all the control wires and whatnot. So, pre-order, I've got one of these, the Havilland Tiger Moth. I'm really looking forward to this. I must confess, I've looked for the instructions, it's got where to run the wires and everything. Absolutely brilliant. With every build, it's the cockpit first. So a little bit of revel, always make sure that that applicating needle isn't blocked. Little tiny bit of glue there. Pick up the rear seat. There's a little notch on the back here I'm taking notice of. So I'm just going to slide that seat into there. Very nice. And this seat, it goes in there. First bit of airbrushing inside the aircraft, 78. So here goes. Right, with this rear pilot figure, co-pilot, whatever, I want to cut this arm off and then stick another arm so he's waving from the cockpit. Probably a bit ambitious some of my skill, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm just going to work the scalpel very, very gently, very slowly, being that I don't want to be admitted to hospital today. Just see if I can just tease that arm off. Very, very gently. Just tease it off to the shoulder. Like that. There we go. Now this guy here from my RAF 172 collection has flash. He's not particularly well moulded, but I think he may be the ideal donor for an arm. So I'm going to cut it off there. Then I'm going to cut his arm off there. And I'm going to try and tidy this arm up. Hello.
Hello mate, you got a key?
Yeah.
Can I have it then to get
Well, that was the question you said, have I got a key? And I went, yeah. He's ready. And the arm's ready. So here goes nothing. Let's see if this works. A little tiny piece of super glue on there. That'll do it. Not too much. My tweezers. And just see if I can drop that on there. Round about there. Oh. Right, here goes the control columns. We'll do that one first because it's the easiest to get to. Oh cripes, these things are so small. Is that one? I'm using my magnifier behind the camera here because I just can't see what I'm doing. Pick this one up and drop that one in. I'll give them a few minutes to cure and that can go into the aircraft or the model. the rear figure for the model, I noticed that his legs are a little bit tight there, so I'm worried about the control column. So I'm just going to adjust it with a scalpel, being very careful, and just see if I can't just cut a bit away. I don't think it's flash, I just think it's just where the mould probably isn't quite as accurate as it maybe needs to be. Okay, time to assemble the cockpit. So here goes nothing. I don't know where it's supposed to go. I'm going to guess that goes there. Like that. I'll put my tweezers there. I'll grab that and then see if I can't get that to go in there. Oh my goodness. I think that looks alright. Yeah, it's about there. About there. Just trying to square it up with the fuselage, and that looks about right, because there's no real marks inside that can, apart from that bit there. That wasn't on that side, so there wasn't a clear indication as to where it was supposed to go. Right, time for the seats to go in. A little speck of glue there. Somewhere along there. Oh cripes. I must have changed my name to Cack-Handed Models. I think that might be okay, so let's a little dab of glue in each one of these pots, as I usually do. Like that. And offer them together and drop them into place. Oh, moment of truth. Have I got everything lined up? Looking good. Looking good. I've had a look at fitting this wing onto here, and it just doesn't quite want to lay in there. So I'm going to do a little bit of fettling with my file and just open that gap up a tiny bit. Trying to make that gap a tiny bit more. Oh, I think that's much better. That's much better. There we go. That seems to want to sit there now. Just a little bit of a fettle, that was all. So let's get that into place. Right, making turnbuckles for the aeroplane. What I've got is a little tool that I made out of 15 amp fuse wire. I've wrapped some 5 amp fuse wire around it. Now I'm going to do my best to use this pair of very small pliers. They were given to me by a guy at work. I think they're for running guitar strings. But for the purposes of making turnbuckles, I think they're okay too. So I just slide the tool out. if it comes out. Oh dear, there we go, it's out. And there we go. I can focus on that. One twisted turnbuckle. I've already started the pilot, so I'm just going to take the drill there and just very gently turn it. I'm not going to put any weight on it because that's how I bend these. So very slowly going to try and make a small hole in there. Trust me, every instinct in my fibre and being is saying, go on, push, push, push. But it's the case of you've got to let the tool do the work. Right, fixing the turnbuckle into place. Pick it up very carefully with a pair of tweezers and get ready for the ping ding. Dab the end in super glue, which is what I'm doing now. Like that. And then very carefully put it into the hole. There you go. I always put it in line, the hole in line with where the plastic's going to go, because you want the cable going that way. On the wing struts, Airfix have put directional arrows, which really helps. Now I know these are part of the sprue, but I'm going to fit the supports to the wing first, and once they're settled in I shall then cut them off with my scalpel and just touch up any paintwork and whatnot afterwards. Yeah, sorry for the paint pot, but just to demonstrate the holes, you can see, I'll get my scalpel, I'll show you what I mean with the differences. There's the pin, and the hole is just enormous compared to it. So I'll let them set in, then I might run a little tiny bit of filler on a piece of fuse wire just to fill that up, because I don't know how strong that joint's going to be. Everything's ready to be put together, but first I'm going to do the decals, because I think it'll be easier with the plane in this state than it would be when it's fully built. Like these strips on here, be a lot easier without the top wing on. So I'm going to get on with that and carry on from there. Now for the bit I've been looking forward to and dreading. Putting the wings together. I've had a practice dry fit and it doesn't look brilliant, so I figured I'd put these section in first and then manoeuvre the middle section in. The only thing is, it's all very fragile and I am very clumsy, so this could be a major fiddle and swearing contest. So all I'm going to do is dab Tamiya into those little holes. Oh. And then offer the wing up and then see what I can do with it. So I'll put those in there first. Oh my cripes. I cannot tell you the anguish and anxiety I'm feeling right now with this. It's been quite the build, this, and I really don't want it to go wrong. Well, I'm not going to lie, that was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. very, very fragile and took me an absolute age to get those together. Now when it's gone off, I shall trim these sprue parts out in between the wings, but I just want to give it an hour, maybe more, just to settle before I even contemplate doing that. Rigging time. Yes. This may test my patience. So let's try and get the first one through. What I've noticed is some of the turnbuckles have filled up with paint, which is not good. I've got some clear and some I haven't, so I'm going to try and do what I can with what I've got at the moment. Right, that one's through. I'll see what I can do on one wing to show you what I'm doing. There we go, that one's through. So from there, I'm going to go up. I am so clumsy and so cack-headed. Up from there, if I can grab it, into that one. It's not a particularly good picture this, I'm really sorry, but I don't know how else to film it. That one into there, if I can see it, which I This has been a nightmare. I've threaded them through, but you see I've broken the wing there, I've broken a strut there, some of the turnbuckles, the holes are filled up with paint. Oh my goodness, I'm carried on with it, but this is a nightmare. Anyway, must persevere. So, after the rigging's done, I'm ready for some mental health help. Oh my god. It's all done, but I've had to repair the wings, the struts, the landing gear, a couple of the holy bits, I can't remember them now, I'm so shot. The rigging's done, it's not what I wanted, and it's not as easy as a Gladiator was, for definite. But it's done and it's on there. Thank the modelling gods. Right, the base for the Tiger Moth. Painted it green. I've got some paper clips in the holes where the wires are going to go through, in the hope I can pull them out. Oh, what was that? Yeah. Anyway, but I can put the wires through. So now it's my old friend PVA onto the base. Just a little, I'm not going to put loads on there. That'll do. And my dedicated PVA brush, which I believe is that one. Yep. Spread it all out. Put some around the edge of the switch, like that. For starters, they have got a sticky back, but I don't see any harm in putting them on top of PVA either. Just to tidy that switch piece up. Favourite grass medium, which is parsley. I love this stuff. It's so easy to use and it just looks, I think, very good. So we're just going to spread that all over there. Finally, the Tiger Moth is on the Diorama base. All I've got left to do now is to fit the propeller to the motor, which I think is going to be just as much of a pain as the rigging was, and then finish the wiring on the underside. But I want everything to dry on top first, for as you can see it's still wet. Everything to dry on top first before I even attempt that. I've got a few little repairs to do around here with the grass. Again, that's just minor now. So yeah, just let that go off, and probably overnight, that'll be fine. And then we can just finish it off and do the big reveal. So here's my version of the 172 Tiger Moth. I'm not going to lie, it has fooled me all the way, but the results speak for itself. I think it's, yeah, it's not brilliant, but I am very pleased with it, especially the bottle of Tiger beer that I drank to put on top of the switch. Anyway, if you like the video as much as I enjoyed building this model and drinking said beer, please give me a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe wherever that button is, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.